fourth season as captain for you, in your mind, what makes a good leader?
Well, there's an example you have to set, every day. I think it's important to be yourself. People know you. People have known me before that, and if you start changing who you are or doing things differently just because you're in a leadership position, these are adults. People see through that right away.
The intensity, it almost feels, from an outsider's point of view, that every year your intensity has continued to ramp up on the ice for it. How does that translate into how you lead this group?
Well, I have the highest expectations of myself on the team. So I'm hard on myself. I work extremely hard at this to be the best that I can be every single day for this organization. So I think that filters down to the group a little bit. I think I have high expectations for our group. We took a step a couple years ago to be in a position to compete for a championship, and those moments. This will be my 12th year in the league, and can probably count on one hand the chances you have to win. So you try to capitalize on those opportunities as much as you can. I think the intensity it's part of who I am and my makeup. I think how I treat my teammates. I think I think all the guys know that I care about them a lot. It comes from a place of love. It's not a critique. It's not looking down on anyone. It's genuinely wanting the best for everyone. I had to do it a certain way in my career to get to where I'm at. That's not going to be necessarily the same for everyone else, but there's a pretty common theme in this league. You gotta do a certain thing. You gotta prepare a certain way if you want to be successful. So just try to show the guys what it looks like, and from there, you're not holding people's hands. This is the big leagues.
Can you be hard on guys?
I think that I give myself the opportunity when I need to do that for how I prepare myself and how I handle my business. I think that's a very general question. Being hard on people is all going to be relative to people's experience. Am I hard on people compared to how I was treated as a rookie? Absolutely not. That's changed a lot. There's a lot more hand-holding, and I have to put myself in people's shoes a lot more than the leaders or the older guys did for me when I was a young player. So I think there's a recognition of that the players that are coming into the league now and are starting to filter into the locker rooms. It's different. You have to approach them differently. You have to sort of coddle them a little bit, and if you don't, then you're too hard on them.
There was a lot of speculation last year that there were issues in the room you're on. Did it bother you that there was some speculation that maybe, or talk that maybe the leadership group was too hard on some guys? When you heard those rumors, what was your reaction?
I think that I learned real early in my career, you're never as good or as bad as people say you are. I was, as a 17-year-old, I didn't make the final 52 in the state of Minnesota, the select festivals. A year later, I was drafted 5th overall in the NHL. A year ago, I was nominated for the Marc Messier Award, and people were telling me I'm a legendary leader, and this year I'm the problem. So it's somewhere in the middle. Had that come from my teammates, that would have hurt. I would say there were some moments you would have liked somebody to step up in your defense, whether it be from the organization. I know Paul's always been a big proponent of mine, but I think there was just, unfortunately, a lot of incorrect stuff coming out about our team after last year. I think the media has a certain accountability that needs to be held, and it was lost after last year. There was a lot of stuff written that just simply wasn't true. You know, I mean, things were written about Scheif after the year, about our exit interview. I was in the room. You know, people were upset that he didn't talk. They asked him one question. So what, is he just going to stop people and start and make a statement? So that disappointed me. You know, write whatever you want about me. I know what I am. I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at. If you think I'm the problem, I might be. I don't think I am, but you know, I know that after you fail to meet expectations, you know, you're going to write about me, and that's fine. I know that that's the position I'm in, but at least be accurate. At least, you know, do enough work and be in the room enough to get a sense of what you're talking about. I mean, people are writing stuff and they're in the room once or twice a year. You know, I've met these guys maybe twice, and I've been here now 9 years. So that upset me a little bit. But like I said, I think it was just in the sense that you totally missed the boat. You know, write about how bad we played in Game 6. That would be accurate. We didn't show up. And if you think that that's because of bad leadership, then maybe that's a conversation to be had. But you can't have it both ways. You know, so let's try to get back on track a little bit, and that's kind of where I felt.
Do you approach this season any differently with respect to how you lead this group?
Yeah, I do. And I think you have to try to always get better. You know, otherwise what are you doing here, right? I work on my game a ton in the summer, so I work on myself a lot as well. And I approach it differently, not from a leadership standpoint or from a player standpoint, but I think I have my priorities where they need to be. And, you know, I was disappointed for the first time in myself after last year, not because we didn't win the Stanley Cup. You know, I lost touch with myself as a dad, as a husband, first and foremost, because I invested so much into trying to win. You know, everyone was talking about this is our year to win, and I felt like we had a real opportunity to win. And I just, when I was home, that's where I was. I was trying to win the Stanley Cup. And when I was in the building, you know, sometimes I was spitting nails just because I wanted to win the Stanley Cup, right? I was so focused on that. And when it was all done and I got home, it's like, man, Mace's almost 2, you know. My daughter's growing up, my son's in kindergarten. You know, none of this is that important, you know what I mean? So it took me some time to kind of get myself over that feeling of disappointment with where I kind of left some things at home. So that's where I'm at. You know, I'm gonna be me here, and I'm gonna do everything I do here and give everything I have when I'm in this building. But being a husband and dad is number one in my life.
I think that sometimes people don't necessarily appreciate that there's so many of us that try to juggle that balance of whatever your chosen career is with family and everything, and recognizing that that's a challenge sometimes, or a balancing act for players as well.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, I'm not the only guy in the room with kids, and you know, I think everyone's different in that respect. You know, I do take what I do for a living really seriously, you know, and I know that it's not going to last forever. So I try to capitalize on every opportunity I have. It's just how I'm wired. But you know, this game's been real good to us. You know, I'm very fortunate for the position I'm in and, you know, where I'm at in my career. But you know, like I said, it's not the most important thing in my life.